One of the things that has come up in the news a lot, and it has direct ties to our budget, is the salaries. And I'm going to talk about salaries in three parts. I'm going to start off talking about our salary, what I get paid. I don't do this for my salary. I do this because I want to serve the community, and this community has given me everything me and my family have. I am open to look and make sure that we're paid proportionate with our population. We are the 7th largest county now, and we should be paid somewhere in there. It doesn't have to be the exact number, but we found out about a year and a half ago that we were the highest paid salary commissioners in the state, and we immediately, within a week, cut our pay by a third, and that put us below the highest. As it turns out, we were still pretty high, second or third. So I'm willing to look at that. The commission decided actually 2 weeks ago to let the new board after the election look at that. I hope I'm still on the board. If I am, I'm open to that. I think we should be paid somewhere where we are in our population, and that's one that the board's already ruled on. I actually voted minority there because I was willing to do things right away, but the board's spoken. That's what we're going to do, and we'll take a look at that. If I'm still on the board, I'll be looking at that after November with the new board, which will include at least 4 new people. The second part of salaries that I want to talk about is Wanda Green. Wanda Green is our county manager. Her salary has been questioned, and rightfully so. She gets paid a lot of money, well over $200,000 a year. She gets $10,000 in longevity, which is the third issue I'll talk about, but I want to focus in on Wanda Green's salary. Wanda Green is an excellent county manager. She has 5 degrees. She has a degree as a CPA, certified internal auditor, certified government financial manager, master's in public education, and a PhD in business. I wouldn't pay someone more money just because they have a lot of degrees, but what it shows to me is this individual has followed the rules and got the background and exposure to an awful lot of information that's good for the county, which is, i.e., spending county money and how to make the budget stretch as far as we can. Wanda is the 5th highest paid county manager in the 7th largest county. So she's about where she should be. I think there's a sticker shock, and I've used that word out there, that when you look and see, oh my gosh, who is worth $200,000 plus? And I guess the same question could be asked about pro athletes or entertainers. Is Shaquille O'Neal worth more in 1 year than I'm worth in my whole lifetime? And apparently he is, because that's what the fair market value of his services and his contract was. We might debate that, but that's the fair market value. We don't set that. There is a fair market value for county managers, for every other profession, and we have to pay that. Wanda Green is the longest serving employee of any of the 10 large counties. She's been here 18 years. What she gets paid is comparable to what superintendents get paid in larger counties, and what other business people are paid for running a almost $350 million business. So it's always been a concern. We look at it. I guess the way I've always done it, and I've had the opportunity to hire 3 different managers. The first one I hired was the Land and Sky Regional Council manager. We had a job search. We looked and we hired Joe McKinney. I remember being surprised at how much they got paid, but when I realized what the fair market value was for that job, it was pretty easy to put it out there and get people that were interested in coming here, and we made a great hire there. Not just me, the whole Land and Sky Regional Council Executive Board. Then we hired a new airport director. Then we hired a new MSD director when Bill Mull left, and we hired Tom Hardy and Lou Bleiweiss at the airport. And then I was responsible for hiring Wanda Green when I first got on the board. That was one of the first votes we ever did. The way you do this, or I think the proper way to do it, is to get the fair market value. Get third parties, get research, get the Institute of Government in Chapel Hill to give you what is it people make in this similar position. and then you set your what you can pay. Then after that, you sent benchmarks about what do you want her to do, or him or her to do. One of the things that we asked Wanda Green to do when she first got on the board was to improve our single A rating. What happens is third parties like Standard & Poor's and different groups look at the county budgets, look at how we spend money, where we spend money, how much reserve we have, what we pay our employees, and they grade us. And the best you can get is three AAA. And at the time, 16 years ago when Wanda Green started, we were single A. Well, she moved us up to double A within a few years, and this year we're the first county in 15 years to be upgraded by Standard & Poor's from double A to triple A. So what we're doing, at least according to Standard & Poor's and people that handle money and look at risk and how money's being spent, tell us we're doing a pretty good job. And Wanda Green is the captain of that ship. She does the budgets. She handles things. Wanda Green also is probably the single most important person in bringing Linamar here. Now, we recently had an announcement that Linamar is now up to 650 employees they're going to hire at high wages. They're going to invest probably close to $500,000 in the old Volvo plant. And these are jobs that are good paying that people can do in manufacturing. They don't have to have a degree to get these jobs. And that's really important. Nobody needs to tell you or me or anybody else how critical it is to get jobs. And Wanda Green came up with the idea when the deal about fell apart. She came up with the idea that the county should buy the Volvo plant. And so for a brief time we actually owned the Volvo plant and then sold it back to Linamar because of some accounting issues they had. And that's how it happened. She also single-handedly found $18 million for our mental health. And I say single-handedly because she came up with this. So the county, Buncombe County and surrounding counties have $18 million more because she knew where to look and find money from other sources. Our staff has very little turnover. I regularly visit department heads. I think that's part of the chairman's job. And I get good reports. I ask people. I try to win confidences. I keep confidentiality. And we're run well. It's a good county. We have more health insurance, health coverage for our employees. I'm going to talk about that. If you look at our rating and what we owe, because a lot of people said, well, you guys have been crazy. You and Wanda Green have been crazy about building. And we have an awful lot of building projects underway. You don't have to look far downtown to see how much Buncombe County is building. We're taking on projects we should have done 20 or 30 years ago. But how we're doing that is through ingenious financing. And here's the best way to look at it. And this is what Standard & Poor's pointed out. You're doing a lot, but you're not borrowing that much. Basically, it's the analogy of a $300,000 house. We have a $96,000 mortgage on a $300,000 house. And that's how we're doing it. We're just continuing to keep that mortgage and build things that we need. New courthouses, library improvements, law enforcement center, so our law enforcement and emergency service folks can be trained properly, and parking decks, renovating all the buildings, because we've made a commitment in Buncombe County to stay downtown. I think that was the right call. We want to be part of the downtown, and we think by having people working downtown, we do our part to energize the hub of the Carolinas, which is the downtown Asheville area. We have a new animal control shelter. Any of you that went to the disgraceful shelter we had next to Irwin High School know how much we needed that and how important that was. We now have a facility where we have control, adoption, A/B Tech, student training, all in one place. We call it a campus. It's a wonderful facility. It's probably, again, about 30 years overdue. So, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the salary. I'm okay with, I think Wanda Green is one of the best managers in the state, maybe in the country. She's well respected. She speaks at seminars all over the country. And people in Buncombe County deserve the best service. They deserve the best leadership. And so I'm satisfied. I understand, folks, and I certainly get it, that that's a lot of money, but you get what you pay for. And I think this, the money we pay Wanda Green is a good investment for the county.